You may have seen WordPress sites with Facebook boxes or Twitter feeds before. I'll show you how to include those on your site in this video. Again, Jetpack is the key to doing this easily. Let's go to the widgets in our appearance menu. In our available widgets box, we can find the Facebook like box and two different Twitter widgets. The Facebook like box can display a list of recent Facebook posts, the number of people who have liked our Facebook account, and the profile pictures of random fans. The settings for widgets are pretty self-explanatory, and since we already have a Twitter account set up, let's have a closer look at the Twitter widget settings and put that widget in our sidebar. Placement of this widget will be up to you. Some people put it near the top, others near the bottom. It really depends on which widgets you want your readers to see first. Ad boxes, for example, need to be seen on page load or as close to the top as possible. So those need to be at the top of your sidebars. You'll have to determine what's best for your site based on your needs, but for our site, we're just going to put it beneath the tag cloud. We'll title it Twitter for two reasons. It's easy to understand, and it's a solid keyword. And we have to provide the Twitter username so that it knows what tweets to grab. We can set the maximum number of tweets to show here. I'd recommend choosing as few as possible. We want our tweets here, but we don't want it consuming the whole page. 5 tweets is plenty. We can also hide replies, tweets published by Publicize, which is useful because if people are already on our website, they can already see our posts, so they don't need to see the tweets announcing our posts. That's just redundant information, so we'll check that. We can also choose to include retweets and display a follow button. The decision on whether or not to include retweets would depend greatly on what you're retweeting, so I'll have to leave that up to you. I think it's always a good idea to include a follow button. More followers means more reach. We can also display some text between the tweet and timestamp. This is usually just going to be a separator dash or tilde or something of that nature. Just click save, and in a few moments, your tweets will be seen in the sidebar on your site. It can take a few minutes for the tweets to actually populate, so we'll look at that later. The Facebook like box has a similar setup. Let's look at that widget configuration, even though we don't have a Facebook account to use. Again, we can set the title. Most people just set this to Facebook for the same reasons we set Twitter to Twitter. We need to provide our Facebook page URL so that it knows what content to grab. We can set the dimensions of the box. This is useful if it doesn't quite fit properly in your sidebar. Making the width about 10 pixels less than the total width of that sidebar should look good in most templates. We can choose between a light and a dark color scheme so that we don't have a white Facebook box screaming at users from a dark page background, or vice versa. We can also choose to display or hide the faces of our followers, the stream, or the wall if we have a places page. If you don't show the stream, it will simply be a like box and people can click to like our page. It will not show any of your posts from Facebook. Now we've got our social networking presences sorted. We need to explore the possibilities of turning our own WordPress site into a social networking platform. We'll do that in the next video.